As a client of mine was reviewing a 2013 training coaching manual from the seminars in the past, she said something to me. And what she said was, you know something, John? I was reading through all this, and mind you, this is a very high performing broker owner who also does real well in sales. She says, you know, John, this stuff still works. It is John Chepak coming to you as we embark on a new year, and most of us, I hope, are in tow with your business plans, these strategies and tactics, and where you're going to end up. And one of the things that I've learned over the years personally, some of the areas that I had to grow through discovery, and of course working with high performers, is most people go into the new year without three critical elements in tow. And I'll come back to those in a second. But the first thing that we have to do is, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do and experience, you have to map your identity to it. I'll give you a great example. Many of us have tried nutrition plans and workout plans, and we have this idea of what we want to change. Yet we still have that old identity of who we've been. You know, maybe it's something of, no one in my family has ever been in good shape. I've never been, you know, very fit or active. So we have this old identity that gets in the way. So one of the things as you go into 2022 is, does my identity map to where I am going? Because I can promise you this, deep down you will be self-defeating if you don't have this identity. I'll give you a great example for myself. When I was coming up in the coaching business, I will be the coach to the elite teams, broker owners, agents in the real estate industry. And let me tell you something, when I was saying that to myself over and over again, it was the most ridiculous thought on the planet. I was so far from it, but I knew that I had to see it, then do it. So really think about that as you look at that business plan for 2022. Are you going to hold on to that identity, that old identity of who you've been or where you're at right now? Or can you truly crystallize that vision of who you need to be? See, does who you need to be, who you're striving to be as a person, the foundational pieces, the guiding principles, do those map to that result that you're looking to create in 2022? And here's what it really comes down to. We go back to my client who said that, you know, looking back at that 2013 training coaching manual, and it still works. It's the bridge between knowing and doing. Let me say it again. It is the bridge between knowing and doing. And listen, I'm in the information services business, for lack of better words, if you really want to define it down. So my business is based on lifelong learners, people who always want to grow and learn. And, you know, here's the world we live in today. We are not in the, in a space of information that is just at our fingertips so we can figure anything out. We're in the space of information overwhelm. Sure, it's at our fingertips, but I was talking to someone the other day about, you know, you make it so simple because I'm overwhelmed. I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm going here, I'm reading this book and that book and doing all these different things, you know, trying to get all this knowledge. And so, you know, I think it's important to know that 99% of us know exactly what we need to do. The problem is bridging the gap from knowing to doing. So what does it look like? Here are the three elements that you must carry into 2022 to make sure that your projections, your goals, your commitments actually happen. Number one is mission. What's your mission? Oh, I've heard these before. You know, I love it. People always say, you say the same things over and over again. You bet I do, because then I'll come back to them and say, so you've actually internalized it, you've put it into play, and you're living by it every single day? Interesting to ponder, right? So what is your mission? I'm gonna give you an example of mine. I think a mission is, what is the purpose that supports what you're doing, and something that has the greater good in mind. I'll share with you my mission. My mission's My mission is serve, lead, and inspire people that want to have a positive life experience in the real estate business. Mission, serve, lead, and inspire people that want to have a positive life experience in the real estate business. Pretty simple. And that mission, though, needs to just be automatic. Like, not something that you create and you put on the wall and no one ever pays attention to anymore. It has to be internalized in you so that you always come back to it when you get off course, because we all get off course, right? So that's mine. It does keep the greater good in mind, and it supports what I'm passionate about and what my ultimate goals are. Number 2, values. And these are guiding foundational values. Values to me are the experience that I want to have and the experience that I want people that interact with me to have. And mine are, simply put, fun, love, dignity, respect, humility, vulnerability, and transparency. And steal them. I didn't make anything up or create anything. You know, I've learned from many people who have been generous to me. So those are the values. That's what I want to feel, okay? And I think feelings are super, super important. I don't think, I know, because the heart chooses, the mind justifies, right? And so if those values don't align with what feels good to us, what we want to have as an experience, okay, it's going to resonate out in the marketplace, and there'll be incongruencies, and the business plan doesn't happen, see? Then the third piece, and that's principles, and that's law. Guiding principles that you come back to. You know, you're going to do A activity, you're going to do B activity, you're going to do C activity. Okay, that's great. When you don't, though, do you have law that guides you? Mine, real simple, personal responsibility. I own every outcome. And I'm going to tell you something. If you pick and choose the outcomes that you own, what's going to happen is you're going to live life as a bumper car. You can't change what you don't own, okay? Number 2 is commitment, okay? Commitment is doing what we say we're going to do. Not a goal, I tried. It's a yes or no. Because from commitment, and when we get into the third one, which will be accountability, that's where you can grow from. It's like true measurement, okay? Commitment is defined by the result. It's not a, I got close. Okay, there's a gap, all right? When we get into the third one, accountability, then we can grow from the gap, as long as we're able to reflect on that without judgment, right? Observe and notice without judgment. That's commitment. Then tied to that is the accountability. Observing or noticing without judgment. Accountability has a deadline. Accountability is a third-party observer who checks in but does not judge you. Accountability allows you to self-discover what you did do that worked, which, by the way, we want to celebrate what we did do, but understand that that's just a new standard, okay, to expand on, right? And so we look at the gap. Growth is in the gap. What action steps do I need to take to recommit? See, that's where I've got this big old plan, all these things I'm going to do, but what's going to guide me? What's the foundation that I come back to? And these are the simplicities of high performance. The fourth and final one, okay, you've got personal responsibility, you've got commitment, you've got accountability. The fourth and final one is contribution. And simply put, to keep what you have, whether it's the success you have, the relationships you have, all the things that are working really well in your life, you got to give it away to other people. You got to give it away to other people. You got to transfer it to other people as it's been transferred and given to you. So those are the simple pieces you need going into 2022 to make sure you experience your hopes, dreams, and desires. First of all, that identity. You've got to see yourself as you're going to be, not as you are today, or not as your past, period. If you don't get clear on that and internalize it, okay, and just see it, that's why people do vision boards, okay? It's not going to happen. The rest of it doesn't matter. Mission, have the greater good in mind, and supports what you're passionate about. And values, what do I want to experience and what I want people to experience to interact with me? And then principles, the law, the guide. Wishing y'all the best new year.